Hey everybody, I'm ready for a new weekly in Super Auto Pets. I bet I had like an 1100 calorie lunch. I had like a ham sandwich, two pieces of fried chicken, and a grocery store cookie that was like the size of my head. I'm ready to go, man. I don't even want to know what my blood sugar is at right now. I'm gonna say 38. I don't even know what units that's in. Micrograms per milliliter. I'm just taking a guess, okay? I'm spitballing. I did play a little of this weekly on my phone, and honestly, like, this is not. Listen, you see me play on YouTube, so it wouldn't surprise me if you don't believe this. But Super Auto Pets yesterday on my phone, it was like when in that South Park episode, the South Park elementary school students play against the Colorado Avalanche in a game of ice hockey. Like we were just cruising. 9 wins, 10 wins, 10 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins. Like it was automatic. So I'm not saying I got that. That's going to continue now because that's Sunday. That's before everybody has already, myself included, to be fair. That's before everybody is lost to the teams that are actually good, so they learn what's good in the meta. This is Monday, where things are still maybe a little bit more open, but, you know, people will slowly get back towards, coalescing towards like one of the two or three dominant builds. But I feel like this weekly, I've enjoyed what I played on my phone so far, mostly because we've done pretty well. I would say on this squad right here, run me something like, I mean, it's possible that maybe the Magpie will survive to attack more than one time. It seems like it's a bit of a scale-heavy weekly, which we haven't had in a while. Summons have kind of they've been running the whole show. So it's nice to have something that feels, honestly, it feels a little bit more like traditional pack 1, pack 2 sort of stuff, instead of, just get a turkey and a deer and a parrot and so on. I'm not that concerned about a level 3, but we could consider it. There's a little bit of trumpet action, but mostly early. And then blueberry, I'm not totally sold on. I am kind of sold on the peacock, but it's got to be like the perfect setup. It's a lot of rolling for very limited use, but I like a level 2 stork as well. I think we're not quite at level 2 stork, to be fair, but I think what we're looking for mostly... This is a scary team, dude. And we did indeed lose. What we're looking for mostly would be a level up here, and then, for the last time, I'm not taking any more freaking magpies, okay? After the level up, we want to get like a dragonfly. You know what? I think you sell the magpie, run moth at the front, toad at the back to apply some extra weakness here. And the mosquito and the dolphin should make that like workable for us, but this is not the squad I'm really like thrilled to have so far. I said it was all about scaling. Our highest amount of HP is 5, but at the same time, holy cow, never mind. He's a genius. Completely accidentally. Don't take your level yet. I think take some stats. Sure, and then I really don't want to take my level, man. I'm not... Okay, I'm going to roll. Now, I could walk through the mental process of that, but I don't know if that's strictly necessary. Basically, I don't want to sell my mosquito because I think the mosquito is good on this round in order to apply some weakness to units that maybe then can get crapped on by a dolphin, or maybe not, is the alternative there, of course. And it's fine. Like, this is not really a big surprise that we didn't make it through this one. But we could have saved 3 gold by buying a moth and putting it in, like, the mosquito's place instead. But we didn't, and it's okay. We don't really need a lionfish if we have a toad. And I'll just tell you, I don't think this is the ideal setup for this squad. And we're just buying more and more salads. I promise you there are buffing units in the pack this week. There's a dragonfly, there's monkeys. You don't even have to pill something that has a banana on it to get a monkey, although maybe that's something we should think of as like an out when we find ourselves in times of trouble. Okay, so you got quite a big aardvark there, but we made it. Nando's with extra sauce. Thanks for the life pro tip. Doberman. If this is your lowest tier pet, gain coconut perk and +5 attack and +5 health. So we would have to sell everything. It's an interesting idea. It is. It takes longer to set up than I think I'm willing to take. Oh my god, I hate my squad. Why don't you take some extra HP? I know we're not doing that bad, but like I still kind of hate my squad. This is not making it any better. I'm rolling. I want... chocolate is in the weekly this week, by the way. Okay, more toad. Probably not necessary. Well, I think we're lucky our squad has done as well as it has. We're going to encounter scalers soon. I know I mentioned it. There's monkeys. There's orangutans. It's an unfortunate bit of circumstance on that one. I did make a silver fox run work for myself on the phone as well. I know you're not going to believe it based on how our performance is going so far. Okay, we got something here. Sell your... Works 4 times per battle. I mean, either you sell a dolphin. I think you could probably talk about selling a mosquito too. I think you could probably sell a stork. I think you could probably sell the whole squad, quite frankly. An orangutan is like not that... It's not fast enough yet. I think we... Okay, you know what? This is not like perfect. But if we manage to draw a couple rounds, the lioness could help us out of a jam here. I don't know if we're gonna be lucky enough to have that come to pass. As nice as it would be, it may not be plausible, but you know, I'm seeing that the squads that we're going up against are not... They're not scaring the pants off me too much. Our toad is doing incredible work, and we actually came away with a win. Obviously, like, scaling in the form of our monkey is tempting. I guess we'd rather have a monkey than have... Oh, maybe you could pivot to... No, because you'd have to sell your toad. Okay, I'm just thinking. The mosquito has no reason to be here. This makes a lot more sense, even if it doesn't look that impressive right now. And we're going to let this stork just exist for a while. It could summon a tier 2 pet from... A level 2 pet from tier 4. Those pets don't really inspire me. These pets, I don't... Listen. I'm going to do it because it would be funny. Don't give me a cow. Oh, gain 100% trumpets. We don't have any trumpets. What am I supposed to do with this information? I mean, it's got to be sold. It has no reason to exist. I'm sorry. I wish that it did. Believe you me, I wish that it did. Okay, our squad is essentially horrible. It's heinous. It's offensive to the idea of gaming. Like, every squad that we come up against that's not stronger than me, I'm just like, how does that happen? We're going to be on lethal. Like I said, pretty easy weekly this week. You're not going to believe me. It's not an apples-to-apples comparison, okay? We were playing... We didn't get any of the scaling animals. We do have a dragonfly there, but it's a little late for that. I think you gotta sell a squirrel. You buy a zebra. You sell a zebra. One of these lemon units need it. And I love the tiger. It just doesn't really fit here. A catfish with a zebra is kind of an interesting idea, at least. But let's go sauropod. And I know we're starting to get a little crazy mode here, but sauropod does come out with half-decent stats and maybe allows us to buy... I really don't think we're winning this one. Like, I don't think we're getting to 7 wins, much less 10, but let's see. It's going to be tough to get over that llama there. Especially with the new snake, the super snake. No, we're toast. Okay, you're just going to have to take my word for that. It wasn't like this on the phone. We always got the perfect units on level up, and we got a very smooth power curve. But 6 is, I would say, not respectable, given that we got to 6 so early and then fell off so hard, but it's not that bad. Give me a groundhog early, because I think it's decent value. And then, I don't really know the order of how this should go. You getting the buff is not ideal, though. We're going to run like a little anti-moth up at the front. Let's be a dry personality. This is a more interesting start than a good start, but that's okay. And remember, people are still... They're still trying to figure out the weekly for themselves. Look at that, we got... we have not coalesced on a power ranking of every unit so far, which means that we got a chance. Okay, that's interesting. I think a mosquito is worth taking at least. And I think we'd take another mosquito, and then just that's an easy level up next time. The thing is, you gotta take the wins with the groundhog if it's sucking up your stats here. I say that because the groundhog has no reason to stick around. Like, it really provides nothing post, like, round 1 and 2. So just enjoy the fact that it's got half-decent stats. If you level it up, it literally gives you 2 trumpets instead of 1. Like, I don't think it's worth the gold. Or is it 2 instead of... It is, right? Yeah, it's like... The only reason you do it is to get to a level, so I think we pass on it. And I still like the stork. We can now run, like, this squad instead. I guess we could run it like that. I like the stork. And do we want any... Honestly, I think that the best thing that maybe could happen... And we probably shouldn't... maybe it is sensible to put it on you. I'm just thinking about the ordering of our squad here, because it does matter. We probably get destroyed by a blowfish here. This is not great. How was you? Oh, because you got a leveled up fish. Okay. It's not like that's not fair. It's just like, you know, sloth out of the trumpets. What a world. Yeah, they didn't do anything wrong. They just got a really good shop, and that's okay. Go ahead and buff me. I'm happy. I'm more than happy. I'm thrilled with where my stats are right now. Let's keep it going. We'd love to see a mosquito or a stork just so we could get a level. And I'm telling you, man, like an early dragonfly or something like that. I like the early days of a weekly where you're trying to figure out, like, I never run into Hercules beetles. When you're on, like, Wednesday or Thursday, it's like you'd have to be a fool to run them. You should be running the meta at that point. But on Monday, anything can happen. So I'm inclined to say that a case of the Mondays is actually a good thing. So I'm buying this to get to level 3. It's not a dragonfly. It's kind of sick with it. I sold the cone snail just so it didn't steal our buff. We'll try this. You should go next. I'm okay with the order just because of how honey works, I guess. And I would... Whoa, I love it. I would say right now... We're in put up or shut up territory with our, well, with a lot of our units. But in particular, we're in put up or shut up territory with the groundhog. Like, we got to figure out what's going on with it. It has good stats, but we could easily get trapped into, like, the, you know, it's too good to use, but also too good to get rid of territory. So I think maybe it makes sense to sell, and then buy, and then buy. And then honestly buy, and we'll take our level next time. And the unit, it's interesting. Sure. Unit that would really hit the spot right now would actually be a dragonfly. Because we could, I mean, you always can get a level 1 on your team. You can see our opponent has a dragonfly as we speak, as the crow flies. But we have a level 3 and we'll have a level 2, which makes the dragonfly quite effective. But we need to get it first. Start me here. Lionfish is still really good. Take your level. Zebra. There's a part of me that just that finds it just interesting. Let me do something a little weird. I think mosquitoes are more likely to get sold at some point than the stork right now. So let's put the melon on the stork. Let's buy a zebra. That's fine. Let's buy a lionfish, and what's the reasoning for this? I just like the idea of like a catfish zebra run, even though the odds of it working out for us are probably low. Like we're not even on the tier that starts to enable it yet, but it's just it's a compelling idea. Or maybe we get a level 2 zebra and then it feels even... Okay, we got to sell it for a dragonfly. I'm immediately going back on that plan. Now, what I don't like right now is that we have 2 level 2s. I would like my stork to ensure that it always gets the buff. So we probably won't worry about it going to level 3 because we want our otter to get the buff too. Which means we would sell a mosquito... But we want to sell it for the right kind of unit. Now, Doberman will not work here. Selling it for another dragonfly, I know it's a little scaling heavy, but I think it's the right play, honestly. And then we'll level the... Leveling up the dragonfly is fine, because that'll ensure that it'll buff the stork, and then maybe at some point we can get a monkey, and then all of a sudden our stork becomes a 50-50, we're off to the races. A lowly mosquito has caused me to lose my my melon armor. Do you know what that feels like? Do you know how that feels? It feels like a 7th win, but it deep in my spirit somewhere, it's caused some discontent, I'm not gonna lie to you. Right? That's why you roll first. But honestly, like, this is still really good. The only thing is the dragonfly might get some buffs from itself, but I'm not sold on the Triceratops here. I think we got a great scaling team. The lionfish is good for utility. Always funny to see what pops out of the stork. I think our opponent has an incredibly strong team. I don't like to see that at all. Immediately I default to the idea of what it... never mind, we're fine. I have run the llama builder too on my phone, and those, they worked out very well. You kind of got to get them at the right time, but... Well, that was what we were thinking of earlier, but... Now, the Cobra is interesting too. Friend ahead attacks. Deal 20% attack damage to a random enemy. I think what I'm going to do to get this working, because right now we got 2 level 2s now. I think we could combine our... Well, actually, we have 4 level 2s, technically, I guess. And by technically, I mean, like, mathematically, like, literally, that's what we have. I don't know why I'm saying technically. I think it would be interesting to get a level 3 Dragonfly buff on our Cobra. And I'm not worried about the level up not giving us another animal here. Because this... I was really hoping to see some chocolate, but that's okay. The Cobra basically works like a snake. So it'll do like 3 or 4 damage every time the unit in front of it attacks, which obviously is the stork right now, which is going to attack quite a lot. And maybe we put a red onion on it too and cause it to like slip around back. But there's not going to be another round because we just got 10 wins. And yeah, like when you get the scalers, it just feels like this one honestly is a little bit in my wheelhouse. But it's largely determined by what you see in the shop, for sure. So I'm not necessarily 100% sold on the cone snail. That being said, I'm 100% sold on the cone snail because we need to have it. You could take the frilled dragon, be a precious eye, but there's only like a few enablers for it. I don't think frilled dragon is it's not the right tempo this week. We're gonna draw this one, which is crazy. Our squad was heavily outmatched in all ways, including the physical. Okay, this, you know, can't really be mad. I guess it's balanced at the very least. And I kind of like this because we get, I don't know if that'll even work. We get the cone snail up at the front in case they run like a 1 HP unit plus a moth. Now, a 3 HP unit plus a moth is not gonna do us any favors. Never mind, we win these! Holy cow! I mean, we're still early, obviously, in the weekly, but I do like the, try this. I do like the value that a groundhog gives you. Now, I'll just level with you. I don't think any of these units are sticking around. So I don't really want to buy meat. Maybe that's, I'm paying too much attention to like the sunk cost of it, but I think I'd rather buy a cupcake and try to eke out like a cheesy victory if possible. So far, so good. So I want the flamingo to level up, get some stats so we can win, but then eventually be pilled for better future considerations. Okay, that's a level. I do love a stork. He does love a stork. It's true. I think you simmer for a round. Maybe buy another cupcake if you have to, and then you take your levels. I don't know. We're gonna... If we lose this one and we go down to 4 life, it's not that bad. We got prospects. We are spending more than you would probably want to spend on, like, temporary equipment, but... Alas, we won anyway. Okay, I honestly don't think our team's that remarkable, but the temporary stats from the cupcake maybe make it look better than it is. Level me? We should go Dragonfly, I think. So I think you should leave. You should stay. We don't really care if an otter gets stats. So let's sell it. Let's roll a rabbit for a minute here. And then truth be told, I was just going to say, we're probably getting into a zone where we could pill a flamingo, but we got early scaling, which is very, very not common. Or at least not everybody's going to have it. So, am I living for it? I'm not living for it. Okay, first loss. But I mean, it's not that we got rid of an otter that's going to cost us there. Who's sticking? You're sticking for sure. And the dragonfly is sticking because it's a scalar. Feel like toad is still really good. And there is fine. You should go here, maybe? Garlic on the... The dragonfly doesn't buff itself. So it might sound a little crazy, but I think garlic on the cone snail, even though it's the thing that gives HP to another unit. And then, the only reason I would really be considering another cone snail is to get it to level 3 so another level 2 could take the dragonfly buff. I feel like this might be a situation where you're going to be like, oh no, we let him cook too much. But as long as we're not like actively losing too much right now, I'm not sweating it. I think this is where things come together a little bit more. We level. Lionfish is still pretty good. I would probably like... It's rough to sell a mosquito, right, Tomo? Yeah, that's what he said. You want to get out of here, buddy? You want to go have a drink of water? Okay, there you go. I feel like orangutan and cone snail could set up some interesting stuff. So I'm going to say forget a salad. Sell a rabbit. Orangutan is going to buff a toad. So let's put the toad here to receive even more HP from the cone snail. Let's give the cone snail another leg up on the competition. And another orangutan. Okay. I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, or am I finally just using every tool in the toolbox? The world may never know. Oh no! Okay, it's gonna run wild on us. Our toad needs to be level 2 for that to work, because we didn't overwrite the equipment on the flamingo, but alas, it happens. Dragonfly's getting buffed unless we sell you and buy an orangutan, at which point one orangutan will get the buff as well. Is that sensible? I don't know, but here we are. Next round, chocolate starts up. I think llama, you really prefer to get on a level up if possible. And roosters, I think roosters could be good this week, but I think we need a little bit of like a different form of scaling. I feel like we're probably not looking great here. Mostly because our squad has almost no attack. That being said, we're still alive. We're still winning. That takes us to 5. Man, I would love to see some chocolate. Like, we gotta consolidate the team here. We don't need a lionfish. Chocolate, very important. Start me here. I could have hit it on you as well, don't get me wrong. Friend summoned, give 30% of your attack to it. Not likely. This is enormous. You're about to... No, the monkey is going to receive 8 extra health. So true. So true. I just don't feel... I genuinely don't feel like... This is important too. I don't feel like we can afford to sell the toad just to get 2 monkeys out there. I feel like the toad, obviously it doesn't provide anything in the form of scaling, but it does a ton for us in the battle. Because like, overriding garlic and lemon is like a necessity. We're gonna lose this one too, I think. Maybe... Oh! Oh! We drew! Okay. Also very merciful. Okay, this is a huge gimme. And the thing that is, like, annoying for me, I guess, is that, like... I guess this makes our dragonfly better. But I really don't see, like, a level 1 dragonfly doing all that much for us. But at least we have 3 HP, so we can have chocolate on the toad next turn instead. And a lemon on the cone snail might make a lot of difference if our opponents don't have, like, a toad, but... What the? Oh, they're going Doberman style. It's the first time I've ever seen. I've heard tell of this strategy, but I've never seen it used in practice. It was spooky to see all those buffs roll in. So this is important to me. This is important to me. A taper is not really important to me. Now the dragonfly is nothing's getting buffed on level 1. It's very true. The toad is getting the HP from the orangutan here, but I don't feel like we want the toad to be in position 2 to inherit from the cone snail, because the toad has its active ability is too precious for us. Okay, it's a strong melon, don't get me wrong. There's a series of very strong units, but don't look now. We're back. Somehow we made it out of the pit of mediocrity. Dragonfly is literally generating 2/2 right now. That's like, it's meaningless. We would be so much better off dumping it for almost anything, but certainly like a tier 6 unit we don't mind getting the orangutan buff would be nice here. Or like it doesn't have to be tier 6, but it just has to be good. Like another orangutan doesn't really interest me. I do think a sauropod at least has enough stats to be interesting. And you could realistically see a situation where you'd like buy some food for it. But 150-50 on a Monday with a weekly that people seem to be having some trouble wrapping their heads around. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, but it might be good enough. 150-50 right now might be good enough to get you through. I don't know. We're already on 8 wins, and it honestly, the last few have felt pretty easy. You could actually go off here, but you need to get the attack stats. I don't know where those would come from. I don't know. So you're giving 8 health to a monkey this turn. The monkey's not going anywhere, so this doesn't bother me. Let's try to buff you. I don't think it's a Cobra type round. Let's try this. It'd be nice to get 12 HP instead. Okay, this also is still really good, don't get me wrong. We're getting pretty close to the cone snail, and maybe it's next turn. The cone snail moves back 1. And then what do I want to run at the front? Well, it's a very tough question. I think the answer is actually like probably a walrus. You got rid of your death touch. I can't, as your attorney, I can't in good conscience recommend that. Death touch is a pretty good active effect. I would say you're getting the buff this turn. Okay, we should buy foods. You know what you could do? You could take this. You could take a steak and then move to the front, and you could also inherit the HP. I would love a toad to level up. We're probably not going to need it. Like, it seems like we might be on our way to 10, not to be, like, overly braggadocious, but we might be on our way to 10, but it's probably the right thing to do is to have your toad ready to go. Still good damage. You probably got me. Your squad is a little bit better equipped than me. At least it spit out a beluga that didn't spit out anything else, but we still had a 932 in reserve there. So you got me on that one. You know, I was overly confident, and you sat me down in my place. Let's go level 3 monkey first. And then if you do things in the right order, you can get your sauropod level. We're not guaranteed 10 wins. I think our attack is pretty low, but our survivability is pretty high. So close. So close. Dude, I mean, we're gonna have to play for it. That's a scary thought, but here we are. We never should have let it go on this long. Get the orangutan out there. We get 2 gold back. Buy some pizza, you get 2 gold back. Not gonna purchase the salads. I will purchase this. And then roll once for chocolate. Oh, I mean, this is great. I just don't know where we'd put it, where it belongs. So you're getting overstatted. Honestly, like, if anything, I think our toad can take some food and then move up just a little bit. I really don't see it making a huge difference, but we're gonna take a look anyway. We're gonna try. I think we're toast, brother. I think your turtle's too strong. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, but they have death touch at the back. Oh. Oh, we're gonna win. Never mind. He's incredible. He's the best to ever do it. Cone snail badge unlocked. Pointing. Wait, I always forget. Oh, and then the other one is like me when I get a 10-piece with a tier 1 unit. Okay, hey, thanks for watching. I like this weekly so far. If you did as well, or even if you didn't, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. I'll see you next time. See ya!